Hi there, we're back with Conquering Star Wars in the Dark. Of course, Conquering Star Wars is the show where I try to experience and then review every canon aspect of the Star Wars universe. Why are we still in the dark? Well, it's because we're no longer talking about Darth Vader, but we are talking about another Sith Lord, Darth Tyrannus, more commonly known as Count Dooku. And today I'm going to be reviewing the audio original Zuko Avatar Dooku Jedi Lost. This is the only audio original that Star Wars has put out so far. It's basically an audiobook that was never a book. It was only an audio. It was very interesting to listen to. It was very, very interesting to listen to. It was kind of very, very obvious that they knew that this wasn't going to be a book, that it was only going to be basically a radio play, is what you could call it, probably. The voice acting is interesting, is what I'm going to say right up front. I don't know why I'm starting with my only negative, really, but the voice acting, it wasn't so much the voice actors themselves, it was really just the unique kind of experiment that we're trying to do with this book. It was very much like in between an audiobook and a radio play. So you have voice actors doing the audiobook thing where it's like a character will shout but won't actually scream. You know, usually when you listen to an audiobook and a character shouts, the voice actor doesn't shout. But then in a radio play, you'd expect them to. And it was kind of like an in-between. It was really weird and awkward at times, and I thought it was just a little bit cringy to listen to. I don't think that it was the voice actor's fault, though. I think that it was really just like, this should have been treated as a radio play. This should have been treated as straight radio play. They could have done proper voice acting and everything and let them scream and shout and stuff. But it almost felt too much like an audiobook to really... I'm on this point too much. Let me just quickly move on, because that's really my only major negative with it. Other than that, the story itself, you know, we follow Dooku from when he's a Padawan all the way up to his betrayal of the Jedi Order, becoming a Sith Lord, and we do this through Asajj Ventress. Now, I did want to say that what was interesting about this is I went into it, you know, wanted to get a really good Dooku story, and I think I did. I think I really got a really, really, really interesting Dooku story. We kind of cover most of his, you know, rise into the Jedi Order and fall into the dark side, all the way pretty much up until Attack of the Clones, and that was cool. But we get a lot of really good Asajj Ventress in here, and God, Ventress is just such an interesting character, and so underutilized, I think. Well, I don't know about underutilized. She's in quite a lot, but it was such a good balance between these two characters. You know, it is about Dooku. It is really about Dooku and his rise, and he's the one experiencing the story. But they managed to get some really good Asajj Ventress stuff in there as well, and I really appreciated that. The Dooku stuff was really interesting. It's set in a time period that, like, we haven't seen a lot. It's set pre-Phantom Menace, and I mean, obviously it's set pre-Phantom Menace, but like, the galaxy is a very interesting place then, because it's peace. You know, we're told that it's peace in the Phantom Menace. There's no major war going on, and the Jedi are just going out and solving problems, and it's this peace, it's this monotony, it's this kind of ambivalence of the Jedi. You know, they're just kind of doing whatever the Republic says, and they're really kind of fine with the way things are. So it kind of really pushes Dooku into this direction that we see him go down. I don't want to spoil the book, but like, what was interesting to me is they kind of use the fact that the galaxy is not at war to tell a story about someone who is frustrated with the monotony of things, and it really compels you to realize why Dooku might have started the war. One last thing I want to quickly mention. I try to keep these short. This has been a bit longer because it is such a unique example of a piece of Star Wars media. I wanted to talk about Dooku's friend, who he's been like a big name in the Star Wars canon for a while, but never really properly explored, I think. And that is, of course, Sifo Dyas. Sifo Dyas is a character that has been explored here and there, but this is like the most we've seen of him. We kind of get his origin along with Dooku's, because he is Dooku's best friend. And God, I love the Sifo Dyas stuff. I thought it was so good, so interesting, and it really kind of again, this is why I'm doing this thing. This is why I'm going through all the Star Wars canon. It builds the world, and Sifo Dyas's story is just one in 100 stories in Star Wars that you could have a whole series on. That is so fun and so interesting and so, I don't know, juicy. I love it. I love the Sifo Dyas stuff. The Dooku stuff was really good, and the Asajj Ventress stuff was surprisingly in depth and interesting and gosh, I just like this. I like this a lot. It just, the voice acting, the execution of this, it was clearly the first time they'd done it. It was clearly something they're really trying to experiment with, and I don't blame the voice actors because it was such an awkward situation to be in. You know, I just felt like they didn't know if they wanted it to be a radio play, an audio drama, an audiobook. Like, I don't even know what they've called it officially. I probably should have looked that up. But anyway, thank you for watching this abnormally long episode. I hope I didn't bore you too much. And I think I'll give this, yeah, I think 3.5. It was really good, really interesting. The audio kind of brought it down a little bit. Not the audio quality, just the voice acting. And also, like, there were parts of the story that I did feel like dragged a little bit. But again, that's not a major issue. It was more just the voice acting that really kind of hampered it for me. Anyway, 3.5, really good. Listen to it if you can. I recommend it.